Hello, and thank you for joining us. My name's Ken Ferguson, and I'm hosting this Blogger Bonanza session where we'll be asking a bunch of bloggers from around the world their opinions on escape rooms. What do they love and hate in rooms? What can we do to improve the online escape room experience? What's their favourite game? And a whole bunch more questions. It's a subject that's close to my heart because I spent the last 5 years writing about hundreds of escape rooms in the UK and across Europe on my blog, The Logic Escapes Me. But that's enough from me. Let's kick things off and get the panellists to introduce themselves. What are their names? Where are they from? And that question which everyone seems to want to know the answer to. How many games have they played? Before we jump in though, a quick apology. This first section isn't quite as smooth as we'd have liked. Bear with us, things will improve.
Hi, I'm Toby Powell. I'm from London in the UK. I run the site EscapeTheReview.co.uk. It's hard to know which ones to include these days now that we're all playing online games with hosts and without, but 600 and something, depending on exactly how you count.
My name is Maria José.
Victor.
Barcelona, Spain. Quinto Elemento, that's fifth element, and the website is Room Escapers.
About 760.
Sebastian. Berlin, Germany. Escape-Maniac.com. I played in the last 4.5 years, I guess, over 220 escape rooms. I think that's okay. It's not that much on escape rooms that like other escape room maniacs played so far. But for a daddy with 2 kids and a husband with duties, it's quite decent, I think so.
Cici.
And Brandon. New York!
EscapeTheRoomers. 500.
My name is Randy Hum. I live in San Francisco, California, USA. My site's name is EscapeRoomers.com. Rumors is spelled RUMORS.com. I played about 330 escape rooms.
Hi, I'm Alex.
I'm Stefan.
And we are
Tubers Live.
I'm from Colima, Mexico.
I'm from Linz, Austria, and we are living in Europe at the moment in Austria.
tuberslife.com.
We have played around 300 escape rooms right now. Yeah.
Around the world.
Thanks for the introductions. And I don't know about the rest of you who are listening to this, but there is so much experience in this panel. I'm just super excited to hear what they have to say. Thousands of rooms played all across the world. And that reminds me, for some of these people, English isn't their native language, so I just want to say a huge thank you to them for making the effort to answer these questions. Now, obviously, this year's been really tough on the industry, and the last few months have seen a significant pivot with many of the companies branching out to new formats for their games. So I want to start by asking, for all you bloggers, what's your favourite format of online escape room? Do you love playing avatar games? Is it point and clicks, or is it something else?
Really good avatar.
Point and click adventure style games.
The format that I prefer is usually with a live actor in the game, and that's actually something that I also enjoy in real life.
We prefer the one with an avatar and real view of the entire room. It's a good chance to play games outside your area.
I personally prefer the avatar ones, just because it feels more personal. I really appreciate when the avatar / game master, is very committed to the role, because that makes the whole experience way better. I will say even a little bit more better than a regular escape room. So that's something I really appreciate and I really like.
What?
Yeah.
Did you just say that?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't fully agree with that. I still prefer to play myself.
Not really. I like online digital ones. I like the remote avatar games. I like them in different ways. It's sometimes hard to compare them and rank them, to say that this purely digital game is better than this avatar game or vice versa, because they're different sorts of experiences and I enjoy them in different ways.
Seems like there was a pretty clear consensus there that avatar games were the most popular amongst the bloggers. But as somebody who grew up with Monkey Island, it's great to see love for the point-and-click adventures too. Now let's flip that question around. What's the thing you least like? Which format do you least like?
The ones I generally avoid would be ones that are heavily based on puzzles or something that you can get out of a puzzle book?
Not really. It's just a question of time.
Bad ones.
I would say the click ones. They were fun at the beginning, but I will not play one of those again. Just because they don't feel that personal, you know what I mean?
For me, it's sometimes about the price. Like there's a price point, like over €100 is a little bit something that makes me pause and think. I'm even there with like 4 to 5 people. I don't think it scales as much as a normal escape room, because the more people you are, really there's a lot less you can actually contribute. So I don't think that charging per person in that instance is super fair.
Next up, I want to talk about what your favourite game is. Now, usually that'd be quite a frustrating question for an enthusiast to ask of a group of international bloggers, because many of the games would be inaccessible. But the beauty about the current situation is, if you restrict it to online escape rooms, we can pretty much play anything. So, what's your favourite online escape room?
Project Avatar.
Project Avatar was very funny.
Yeah. The avatar itself. It was a cool guy, and the situations in the game were realistic as well.
So my favorite online escape game experience was actually Project Avatar. I really liked that. I know it's a bit pricey and it kind of goes against what I said before, but I really, really enjoyed it.
I have to be honest, go play that game.
Hashtag controversial opinion.
This is not a sponsor.
It kind of feels like a mix between an online escape room, a video game, and a little bit of a video experience. And it was specifically designed to be an online escape avatar game where you had to interact and the avatar interacted back. Yeah, I really love that.
Yeah, and it goes beyond just a camera. No problem with that, because these guys, of course, I think they're very specialists of what they're doing. But it goes beyond. It goes beyond just a camera and some PDF that you have to read. It's completely different. It's very unique, I would say. Yeah, and there's a lot of work and love in that.
The Truth About Edith is probably my favorite game, and it was designed as an online game. It's actually very, very funny, and it has an actor in it, and it's really creative in terms of how they link different elements of the online world into an escape game.
It's a prequel of an escape room in Berlin, which is called One Night in Hong Kong, formerly known as Kowloon City. What made it special? The look and feel, because it really captured the atmosphere of the real escape room, and there's a lot of great design elements, the look and feel, the storytelling, the audio in the background. It's really professional.
It's probably Mind Trap's Gold Rush.
That's good. I was gonna say that one, but also another favorite of mine is Ruins by the Escape Game. Well, for me, Ruins, the set design was amazing, and the puzzles obviously went well with the atmosphere, but it's the way that they did it, where it was a good mixture of physical and intellectual, and it just puts you right there, like, you know.
Are you in the jungle?
Yeah, literally
You're
in the jungle.
In the jungle?
Yeah, outside of my home, not in Zoom, in the jungle.
Yeah. That's what we're hoping in these remote escape room cases. We want to be immersed into the scenario, and with Go Rush, same thing. On top of that, they had a really great avatar. So the shout out to One Eye Bill.
Yeah.
My favourite so far has to be, I think, Miss Jezebel by 60 Out. Because of the time zone difference, I had to wake up super early and play that one at 7 in the morning here. And there was just something surreal and memorable about flirting with the guy in a corset at 7 on a Sunday morning. Also, the game was surreal, funny, just very satisfying, very well done by the hosts as well.
What I found really interesting was the number of people who mentioned Games Masters as making the experience. We already knew it was really important for real-world escape rooms, but it seems like it's even more important online. Now, one of the things that I worry about in escape rooms is the bubble chamber effect, where one enthusiast recommends a game and it becomes popular, and it's hard to break through. So let's take this opportunity to recognise those games which are a little less well-known. Which games would you recommend that deserve more attention?
Daydream Adventures. We just recently played their game, The Witch's Forest.
Yeah, I think they're in Toronto. Mine was, I I really liked Bank Heist by Redlock in Queensland, Australia. Ooh, I know why yours. For me, I think it was a really good mixture. Like I said before about the other game, but this one also had a great mixture of intellectual and physical puzzles, and I really felt the adrenaline rush while I was playing it.
For me, anything colorful and Disney. Like, I'm still 6 years old.
A Lost Memory by Creators United, which is a Dutch consortium of owners. It evoked a very distinctive, unusual atmosphere, one of sort of nostalgia and exploring history, not in a defeat the Nazis sort of a way, but just personal memories that were personal and specific to individuals. It had an emotional texture that's unusual in a lot of escape games, and I enjoyed that.
Life Escape Room Salisbury was a really fun experience, and it was specifically also designed for an online escape avatar room, which was not too avatarish, but it was still fun, and I really enjoyed it. And we're holding the record. Probably not anymore when this airs, but who cares?
So I've played a couple of those games, and they are really good. So I'm excited to see what the rest might bring. My to-do list has just got a little bit longer. So let's talk a bit more specifically about online escape rooms. Obviously, people are converting real-world escape rooms into online escape rooms or creating new ones. What would you like to see more of in online escape rooms, or what would you like to see changed more?
Funny avatars interacting with the people more, I think.
A live avatar or a live person in the room.
The avatar. It really makes it different because it's just, I think it's a big factor because in the regular one, you are with your group, your team. But in the online one, you have to actually work with a different communication skills to give it to someone else. And to me, that's a challenge.
So the obvious answer there is inventory systems, which have been great help for many avatar-based games in particular. Mainly because when you have a live stream and a single camera that all the players are sharing, that becomes a huge bottleneck. And anything that allows players to do things in parallel to that bottleneck improves the game experience. I don't know if it's made it more engaging in the sense of more immersive. In some ways, an inventory system can make a game less realistic, less immersive, but it certainly makes it more engaging in the sense of easier to take part of, and usually, if done well, easier to have a good time.
Probably the online portal. There's so many variations out there, but we feel like with that added, it's much easier to interact with players at this point because they've added interactive puzzles along, with the storyline that you can piece together. Maybe a jigsaw, maybe like letters that you can crop and connect together. So those things are something that made us feel more relatable to a real life escape room.
Also, you can divide and conquer, and the whole thing won't be so linear. You can spread out.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I would like to see more of would be to find a way to avoid shaky cams. I get motion sickness really easily, and having a shaky cam is really a no-go for me. So either giving 360 rooms, 360 views in your room, or having pictures or something on the side that you can look at as opposed to just a moving camera would be great.
I'd like to see creators take more advantage of the online format specifically. So not just take existing physical real-world rooms and convert them by putting a camera, running them over a live stream, but design games from the ground up to be played over live stream. There are things that you can do with a live stream format that you could never do physically because they wouldn't be safe or they wouldn't be practical, but you can do those because it's just a game master doing it. I don't risk the game master's life, obviously, but a game master can be trusted to be safe in a way that random players can't. And you can simulate things, so it looks like things are happening, like maybe a building is blowing up. I'd like to see creators explore that a lot more.
Well, we played a game recently, and I really loved if more games allow the player to do improv for the avatar, or something that kind of helps them finagle their way through situations. Because now it's allowing us to be creative at the same time.
So we're gonna give it a little more of a shout out to Jezebel.
Miss Jezebel, 60 out.
60 out.
From my point of view, I do think I just would like have the small consideration of really make sure that you have a proper internet connection. You cannot always control it, but and maybe even check your camera because if you're charging like a certain amount of money and you're having a really bad image quality and your internet connection is very questionable, again, I know times are hard, but everybody also has to spend money on it, and it shouldn't feel like not that enjoyable experience because of the internet. It should still be a good experience. So if you have kind of a desire for a quality room that you build, you should also have a desire to deliver a quality online experience.
It should be a must, right? Yeah.
Thanks for that. And if you had to pick out the most common mistake you see in online escape rooms, what would it be?
Well, I think that you really have to look at it from a perspective of us sitting at home and we're not there. So some puzzles just probably won't work, from an online perspective.
Or work as well.
So what do you think those are?
Like, audio puzzles, being able to hear something through like Zoom, for example, and, not being able to.
Or searching. Like, don't just assume that, we have X-ray visions where we can see through the table and know that there's something underneath.
Right. Or a lot of physical work that the avatar is doing and we're just watching them do it. Jealous. We're jealous, basically.
Doing the games for just one player, no need to cooperation or collaboration. If the game can be solved by just one player, it's not a real escape game.
Lighting, because I know a lot of escape rooms depend on the darkness and stuff like that, but it's just in an online one, it's not the same. You really need to find a way of how to make everything a little bit more sharper for the people that use Zoom. I think that's a very important thing, and sadly something that I've seen mistakes in everyone, including the ones that I like the most.
Oh, I could totally identify with you, Randy, when you talked about motion sickness in escape rooms. It fills me with fear when I see the camera shaking at the beginning of a game, and that is a horrendous experience for some of us. So we've talked quite a lot about online escape rooms. I think it's time to move on, but I've got one final question. Hopefully at some point, move back to playing real-world escape rooms as normal. At that point, will you still play online escape rooms, or will they be consigned to the dustbin?
Absolutely. I really miss real physical games. I can't wait to get back to them. But it's been wonderful playing games with people around the world.
Of course, why not? There is no reason to avoid them.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't see myself playing online escape games once COVID is gone. I really play escape games to see the physical environment and to tangibly touch things. So I don't think I'll be playing online escape games unless it's in a VR headset, because that's a little different from just playing online on your laptop.
For me, I think I love meeting new people, and from this experience, we've met so many people all over the world. We will never give up on that.
Yeah.
So it looks like online escape rooms have a longer shelf life than we maybe thought, and they'll still be around post-pandemic. Now, let's go on to real-world escape rooms and start with one of the questions I get asked most often. What's your favorite theme?
Sci-fi. Anything sci-fi, I love. I love watching movies in sci-fi, and I love being immersed in that theme as well.
If I were to pick something, then maybe sci-fi. I tend to be drawn to sci-fi games, maybe just because that's an excuse for a more imaginative story or a more striking set. But really, I don't have a favorite theme or setting. If it's done well, it's done well. If it's done poorly, then it's not so good.
Not scary.
I like story-driven rooms. Let's say it like that.
But not scary.
I do like scary.
I think the theme doesn't matter. It's about the adventure and action and fun, I think.
All escape rooms that give you a sense of adventure, like Indiana Jones or Goonies.
So I mentioned this before.
Well, let's do this on the count of three. See if we're on the same page.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Horror.
Disney.
Okay. Horror.
Okay,
eerie.
definitely not.
No? Okay.
Disney, happy.
Yeah. Well, Disney, they can have horror Disney.
Mickey.
Horror Disney.
I was pleased to see a couple of fellow sci-fi fans in there, although I have to say I've got a penchant for pirate themes as well. So, let's look at the other side of the spectrum. If you were at the escape room ball, which themes would you ban?
Laboratories. Or rooms with periodic systems. I hate them.
I don't really like laboratories, but I have played a few that are really good, so I think I won't eliminate anything. Maybe libraries. It's Yeah.
Please, no more studies, no more common houses. If I want to see grandma's couch, I just go to my grandparents' house.
Scary ones.
Sherlock Holmes.
What would you say?
For me, probably pirate, mainly because there's way too many pirates.
Arg!
One setting that I would like to get rid of is horror done badly. There are some amazing good horror games I've had really good experiences with, but in a bad game, horror games tend to be particularly painful, particularly unpleasant, sometimes in the sense of physically uncomfortable, even physically dangerous.
Okay, so we've talked about themes. Let's move on and talk about puzzles and challenges. What's your favourite type to encounter in a room?
My favorite challenge type would be something physical. So if you have to climb and you have to throw things and hit targets or whatnot, that's my favorite.
I particularly like physical challenges, physical tasks. There's something very satisfying about large-scale piece of equipment. Maybe you've got balls running through chutes, or anything with huge room-sized ropes and pulleys. That kind of thing tends to be a big thrill.
Visual ones.
I like group interactive puzzles where you have to communicate and work together to find a solution.
I love it when you can collaborate with your team members, when you need to coordinate the people around you. That's great because that strengthens your sense of teamwork and gives your whole team another level of energy during an escape game.
Definitely not Sudoku. Things that you could correlate with. I like those. Imagery stuff.
I love the physical ones. I mean, granted, I do try to use this every now and then, but I like trying to actually touch stuff and try to make things work.
In a room, you need him to move a log. He's there.
Physical and ability games for me.
I prefer when there are differences in the same escape. I like to do different things, thinking, moving, I don't know, everything in one place.
Okay, let's talk about hates now. Which puzzles do you walk away from when you find them in a room?
Math.
Any that depend that I will have a contact with something scary.
Or math.
Or math. Math is scary.
Please, no homework in escape room. So whether it's something tedious like counting things, or if it's math, or if it's reading, please, no.
None particularly. I guess maybe something. So a large, complicated logic puzzle style challenge where there's a lot of different pieces of information that you need to keep in your head at the same time, and pen and paper isn't available, and there's intense time pressure. That will tend to be less fun.
I don't like the puzzles with 8 tiles and 9 spaces where you have to move one, then move, and move one, and move. I really hate them. And the ones with a rope with knots holding something, you need to manage to move the rope around to get the thing it's caged.
Yeah, me too. It's annoying that it's not on your control. You only have to know how to do it, but I don't know. I don't like it either.
How many times have I said Sudoku already? Okay.
Anything that involves too much reading.
All puzzles that are based on math.
So now I'd like to move on to ask a question about real-life escape rooms, which we asked for online games. Which is your favourite game in the world?
When you're looking at my blog, there's only one room that got a 10 from me. So that's the Dome in the Netherlands.
The Dome at Netherlands, it's really good.
It's the Dome in the Netherlands.
The Dome.
Agree.
It's an amazing game.
Rank number 1.
In the Terbragas. It sounds pretentious to say that, but it's hard to describe what made it special. It's just built so amazing, and whenever you think you have seen enough, there's another, not just room, there's another surprise and an unexpected layer in that game. And that my mind has never been blown so much in a game like in the Dome.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I should have seen that coming. What's your favourite game other than the Dome?
Color Die in Spain is really good.
Color Die is like a real video game with a lot of acting, action, and real life situations.
Mine's probably Tully's Escape.
Ooh.
Recently went to UK.
Yeah.
It's Nethercott Manor. It's a whole house.
Yeah. Well, then mine is the trophy room at 13th Hour. It's a whole farm.
It's the Lost Treasure of Alexander Humboldt from the room in Berlin. That's such an amazing room in terms of set design and also storytelling, and it's with so much love and attention to detail.
Paradox Project 2 in Athens, and it was just an amazing 3 and a bit hours. I should mention it is a 3-hour, 20-minute game. It wasn't just the length. The length is remarkable, but the length wasn't the most interesting thing about it by a long way. What was amazing was that it used the length of game to create a type of journey that a shorter game just would not be able to do. You could take many different sections of it and create a fantastic 60-minute game, but put it all together and it was better than the sum of the parts.
Abduction in Barcelona, and yeah, it was amazing. Honestly, it was very, very physical. You had to do a lot of climbing, you had to do a lot of running around, and it was basically Batman.
Going underground in Vienna, our premium escape room available in Vienna.
You made it sound like an ad.
I think the most interesting about this game is that it makes you feel in another place rather than the building where it's set up. I think that's the magic of the room. The story is also really good. The puzzles are really good. And I really, really enjoy it, to be honest. Really, really enjoy it. I felt very proud of what Lucas built, to be completely honest. I'm very proud that it's in Austria. Visit Austria.com.
What are you doing?
I make spaces. He can cut. This is for him to laugh when he's editing, or he must hate us. We don't know.
Or Lisa is cutting it. We don't know.
Sorry, Lisa.
And let's stick with the same follow-up question we had earlier. What's a game that's less well-known but you think deserves more attention?
Job interview. We don't know anybody
that have played.
Yeah, it's okay. Tallinn is not a known place, but you need to know to go there.
Yeah, and they have also Gravity that.
Yeah, one claustrophobia game with cool effects.
Yeah, so Tallinn rules. Job interview was difficult, a hard game, and we played as two, and it was so complete. I don't know, the puzzles and the scenario and everything was so integrated. It was you have to live it.
I have to give that to shout out number 527, and it's going to be at Escapism called The Score in Connecticut.
528. I would say Asylum and or Caretaker at Escape Wellington in New Zealand.
I really liked Bella Ciao, also in the Netherlands. That was a really fun game, and if you like the
Casa de Papel.
Casa de Papel show, then it's just an extra layer of fun. It's just so exciting, and we really felt like bank robbers. We completely forgot what we were supposed to do and had so much fun just robbing the bank, and that just tells you how good the game was.
Yeah. There's a game that I played in Toronto by Revo Escape. I think it's called The Lab. What they tried to do was make it more realistic, so you wouldn't find a random code hidden in a room. You'd actually have to figure out how to get out of the room and how to solve different challenges as if it were real life to escape. So that was pretty cool.
Guildford Escape Rooms, Venus. And while we were about it, nearby, in Winchester, I like the games there a lot as well. And they, in both locations, those are very imaginative, unusual games with which also benefit from the use of humor.
I think there are quite some good rooms in Germany which are not based in Hamburg or Berlin, and when you are in the area of Cologne or Dortmund, you will now find a lot of great games. So like the Alma Park and Gelsenkirchen, this one room is based on a ship. It's the secret of the 660 passengers, and the new room, the Heir of Dracula. It's amazing. It's built in a 120 square meter set. Great storytelling, great atmosphere. You see effects that you haven't seen before in other rooms.
It's so cool hearing about these games that deserve more attention. One of the reasons that I love playing escape rooms is that every so often you come across these hidden gems that really just fill you with joy and you just can't help but want to tell everyone about. And it's great that there's this opportunity for all these bloggers to tell this international community about some great games they've played. Thinking more about amazing experiences, unusual experiences, what's the craziest experience you've had in an escape room?
I would say, the time we were in a room with a bunch of teenagers that were a little bit elevated.
Do you see you anymore? I can't see you.
One of them had put one of the pieces of the puzzle in his pocket, totally forgot, and for the longest, we were searching around, like we've searched everywhere, and then he pulls out, dude, I think it's in my pocket. Ah!
In Russia, St. Petersburg, when we play the Red Street or Red Room, I don't know the exact name now, but it was crazy. Yeah. You can explain a bit.
It's a room like a red light district in Amsterdam or so, where you hire a prostitute to dance for you, and there is a real actor dressed like a pole dancer, dancing around and playing with you. It's a different game, special for bachelor parties, and so for the people without, the people is not shy. It's a very good game.
It was really early in our escape room experience, and we visited Turkey, and we did not know that something like hunting escape room exists. And we were hunted by like a guy with a mask and a knife, which was probably not a real life, we don't know. But we did not know that's gonna happen, and it was our first interaction with a scary room, and we were horrified.
Talking about things that make you crazy in an escape room, if you had to choose, which would you go for? Sudoku or crossword?
1, 2, 3.
Crossword!
Oh.
Obviously. Have
2
you
out of
not
3.
heard my other answers?
I would rather do a crossword just because I've seen so many Sudokus out there.
Not Sudoku.
Sudoku. I'd complete that Sudoku faster than that crossword.
Crosswords.
Oof, I don't know. It's difficult for me. I don't like any of them, so...
Burn both.
Nothing of this has to be in an escape room. No, nothing. Absolutely nothing of this too.
All right. Well, we're rapidly running out of time, so on to the last couple of questions. And first up, if I were ever to play an escape room with you, what behaviour should I absolutely avoid doing? What would make me the teammate from hell?
The most frustrating teammate has been the ones that were very rude and very grabby.
A teammate who is on every riddle, on every puzzle, and don't give others the chance to solve this puzzle. That's also important in an escape room. If you don't want to play for the best time to escape, but when you want to experience a room, it's really important.
When the teammate is wanting to have it all, that you are having this puzzle solved and he comes here, and the other person is doing anything else, and the teammate goes there and take it. I don't like that kind of.
The omnipresent guy.
Yeah, no, it's.
He needs to be everywhere and solve everything.
And take it out of you. It's annoying.
Assuming a baseline level of civilization and decent play, if anyone hogs clue items or grabs them out of someone else's hands, that's kind of a no-no.
When people are struggling with a puzzle, but they are not letting other people give it a try, that is really, like, I hate that.
Yeah, same.
Oh my goodness. A dictator. One that stands there, doesn't do anything. You do this, you do that. Oh, did you check that? Did you try this? Did you look up there? Do it yourself.
I hope that's not me that you're talking
No.
about. Okay, I don't like hoggers, so don't be a hogger.
Okay, well, we've got an idea of what you don't like in a teammate. Let's hear about what you love in a teammate. What would be the ideal attribute of a new teammate for you?
Communication. Oh. That was a lack of communication and organization.
For me, I need a good searcher because we're so bad at it. I mean, not like so bad, but...
Not so bad.
That he is calm.
Anyone who has fun. So people who are having a great time are always fantastic to play with.
My favorite attribute really is being cooperative and having fun. Because at the end of the day, I'm not trying to break any records.
Just enthusiastic people. You wanna have fun in a room. You don't want to have a downer in there. There's always like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to rush. I don't want to. People that don't rush are so annoying in escape room.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And we need a Ken.
Yes, hashtag Ken Ferguson.
Yeah, we need a Ken.
We probably need everybody who watches this. We just haven't played with you yet.
Everybody plus Ken, because we really need a Ken to finish some
Just
moves.
because there's so many math puzzles. Avoid math puzzles. We are so dumb in math.
Okay, we're all done. Thank you for listening, and a huge thank you to the panelists for taking part. I hope you enjoyed their answers as much as I did. All that remains is for me to direct you over to the Discord server. If you join the Blogger panel channel, you should be able to ask questions of any of the bloggers here today and find out more about the great games they played. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm David.
And I'm Lisa. And we're from RoomEscapeArtist.com, the hosts of Recon, the Reality Escape Convention.
This was one of 15 talks that we put on at Recon Global this year, a digital convention for the escape room and immersive gaming industries, for players and for owners and everyone in between. They gathered on August 23rd and 24th of 2020.
We're releasing all 15 of these talks about once a week over the coming months so that they'll be accessible to you. To find them, you subscribe here to the Room Escape Artist YouTube channel. And if you're interested in more information about Recon, go to realityescapecon.com and subscribe to the newsletter.
We put on Recon completely for free because we didn't want there to be financial barriers. We are, however, supported by our Patreons, and so we're thankful to those who are already supporting us. And if you have the ability to support us right now, and you want to, and you like what we're doing, we would really appreciate it. People who back us get early access to these videos along with a whole bunch of other perks.
That is the Room Escape Artist Patreon page. And if you're enjoying these videos and this industry, please support the creators in the space. Play their games in person or virtually. They're doing so many innovative things right now, and we hope that you'll enjoy those.
Thank you very much. We'll see you on the next video.